Hello everybody, this might come as a surprise to you, but there's actually a lot of different kinds of hobbies that Roblox has to offer. And so here is just some of the different kinds of hobbies. No, I don't have this. So this is the kind of hobby you'll find probably like in like the background of a YouTube sword or something. How does this even work? But overall, it's not really difficult. In fact, again, you'll see this in a bunch of Roblox story times and other stuff. It's where this made to make money out of the towel trend, with somehow actual high quality games like Ito haven't gotten in on. Another one in this type is the swap towels and all of those. They're overall the swap. I will say they are very mobile friendly though, because like you barely have to jump. Now, why is this in a separate category than towels? Because like they don't force you to wall hop or anything like that. See what I'm actually a Roblox obvious, so I'm familiar with all of these physics things. And honestly, I feel like towels deserve their own section because they're their own type of obby. And I feel like they don't get enough recognition, so that's why they're in different tiers, really. This is a pretty common entry point. And I will say, I have seen this a lot. I understand playing it, but if you want to actually play obbies, then I wouldn't recommend playing these because they're more made just to have something satisfying in the background. Like I can guarantee, because I put this force, there's gonna be a lot of kids watching this. And honestly, I don't feel like it's all that high quality. It doesn't take that much time to code, like it isn't a real challenge. Also, no hate to anyone who created these. I just don't find them appealing. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna end this. Hello. Okay, so this is section 2, difficulty chart obbies. This is a fairly difficult difficulty chart obby, I will say, because I honestly don't like all of those really beginner friendly ones. Because in my opinion, it takes so much time, and it's not even fun to get to the actual difficult part. So I picked this one. It remains difficulty chart obby. It's honestly really good. I made it to stage 79. When I was playing it earlier, because I do actually play these obbies, except for Guide Towel. I don't play those. But yeah, these were a trend a while back. It started in the I think it was Tower of Difficulty chart in Eternal Towers of Hell, formerly J-Tow or Duke's Towers of Hell. Um, now, now you probably know the gimmick, but for those who don't know the gimmick, it's just that it gets more difficult over time. So it starts out easy, and then, actually I could have shown you there, but see, look, it gets more and more difficult as time goes on. Um, this specific one is good because I just think that it's difficult, and anyone who wants to play obbies like seriously, um, should be playing this out of any difficulty chart obby, because most difficulty chart obbies are an endurance test, and this one is more of his actual skill test. I remember stage 62 specifically was really tough because I didn't understand what I was supposed to do until I beat it. But honestly, this is a lot less sloppy than most, because most just have white colors, flashlights, and aren't this difficult. This should be considered. This should be like 50. This would be like level 50 compared to everything else. I'm good at all these guys. Trust. Now, compared to where we all going. Oh, I accidentally teleported all the way back to. So yeah, this is what a weight game in most difficulties will always look like. Not too difficult, in my opinion. Also, compared to other ones, this is relatively long, except for sorting towels that I will be mentioning later on in the video, such as Eternal Towers of Hell and the Eternal Abyss. Stuff like these are really just way longer and more difficult in some aspects, at least. As you can see, I am struggling with this. I'm still not used to the kill books insta killing you, because I've played way too much of other obbies where kill books don't actually insta kill you and only do like 10 damage or like 5. And that's really because most obbies are on like uniform, you know, like there's no direct system. There's just a lot of systems like towers, or like they'll kind of have their own system of being 10 floors. Each floor has to be a certain height. It can't be like, it has to, each floor has to be 100 studs. Each tower needs to specifically have 10 floors. Yeah, that's it for this section. There's not a lot I can say on this, because it's honestly most of it's already been said with the difficulty trend. Sorry, I'm not that good at speaking, my bad. But honestly, I'd honestly say that this is way better than those swap obbies that you see get torn out. But honestly, that's it for this section, and I'll see you guys in the next. Now, this next section of Roblox obbies are going to be a bit different, because these are actually the Flood Escape obbies, as they're called, based off of the game they originate from, called Flood Escape and Flood Escape 2 by Crazy Blocks. This was actually my first introduction to obbies, well, like my first real introduction other than like Tower of Hell. But honestly, I will say that these are actually really good obbies. I would recommend it. Sorry, my PC is being a bit loud right now. I'm also not that good. But the current game I'm playing is Tria.os. There's a bunch of other games, but most of them are kind of uninhabited because this community is kind of falling apart. And when I say community, I mean like the 5 people who play this game on the regular basis, because not a lot of people actually do play this kind of obby. The main gimmick of this obby is the flood right here. There's different kinds of floods. There's one that insta kills you, like that one, and there's some that can kill you slowly using oxygen. I'm not that good. I haven't played in a long time. Okay, but there's a bunch of other games that were made, like Liquid Breakout, and my personal favorite again, Try.os. I tend to play this game on like the daily basis. I've been sucking off recently because I've been doing other things. Look out for that soon. But yeah, these tend to not be too popular. They were popular somewhere around like 2018, I think. But also, you may notice from the Forsaken collab with Escape 2. But we always a tight knit community of this and other platformers like Escape, which I won't be putting on here because it isn't dedicated to being an obby. It's more of a platformer game, which is different than an obby. And I don't know why the line is all messed up. But yeah, this game specifically has a lot of history I can delve into, or this type of obby actually. But I won't because this isn't really a history lesson. But honestly, I would still recommend these. I know I've said this because I don't script my videos at all. But still, I find them fun. Now, you may have noticed some other gimmicks like the wall hops, where you just have to, where you get stuck to a wall and you have to jump. Or the buttons that you have to press in order to progress. I feel like that's why most of these are into really considered actual hobbies and still more. They have more of a unique physics system. I'll just leave it at that. That the physics system is unique. There's also tons of other gimmicks like in this level. You'll see soon enough. But yeah, these obbies tend to be really short. And there's also different sections in them. Like those like sections where like it's kind of like a tower and the flood's going up. I call those the tower sections. Again, there's no real uniform here. I would say I would honestly go for try.os if you were going to play one of these because it is managed by one of the community members known as Enzo, who really pioneered the early Escape 2 community maps. And honestly, there was a bunch of other people too. In fact, actually, one was in a lobby with them once for like a minute. But yeah, I would still recommend this game. Warning, it is really fast, and at later stages of play, you're going to wish that you hadn't played this game. Because it's just so hard to really just understand what you're supposed to do. And that's it for this. Okay, now for the section, I think it's section 4. Yeah, it is, I think. Here we have Tower Obbies. For this one, I chose the Eternal Abyss's Pit of Misery because I personally like this more than the actual Eternal Towers of Hell Pit of Misery because it just has more towers. Also because it does. I feel like it showcases more community made towers that really deserve their recognition. So let's do this. I've never played this. That was an insta kill. Okay. So here you'll notice that everything. Oh, it said it isn't an insta. Okay, my bad. Here you'll start to notice that everything is like more difficult, and actually I don't want to do this level. Yeah. But this really I really need to say something that I think not a lot of people will know because honestly I feel like not a lot of people are deep into obbies. Ito or Jato or Kato, if you're going back to the original, was one of the first major I want to say unified systems. I think I don't know. Tiered obbies might have been before. But all of them, but like really, this was like the first major unified system. Like there was some other systems like the tier lobby system, but I should tell you the difficulties of this system that is used in the difficulty chart, as it's called, which inspired the Tower of Difficulty chart and all the things that inspired. Uh, at first there was easy. I think it's medium. Um, then it's hard, difficult, challenging, intense, remorseless, and that's the main difficulty chart, excluding the soul crossing difficulties known as um insane, extreme, terrifying, and last but not least, catastrophic. But there's also certain difficulties that are really above the soul crossing difficulties, such as horrific, unreal, and null. Or nil, I don't know. But also, there's also different kinds of towers, like those citadels, which are longer towers, steeples, which are shorter towers. And if you couldn't tell, I spent a lot of time in this game. As you can see, I'm not that good. I haven't beaten a soul crossing tower personally. My best one is like 4-4, I think. Well, no, 4-5 on Tower of Icy Blizzard, which is a mid insane, I believe. There's also corresponding numbers to go along with it, so it kind of fits into the tier lobby system because tier lobbies use numbers. I don't really do tier lobbies because they're more difficult, but they're shorter. And I'm personally better at the more endurance, stamina joining, kind of like, cause well, it's this, like, it's based on endurance, how long you can go through something. These towers can typically take anywhere from 10 minutes, 5 minutes to over an hour. It really depends on what tower you're going for and if it's a citadel or not. Like Citadel of Infinite Void is gonna take multiple hours to complete. But unlike Tower of Annoyingly Simple Trials, which was the original Startle Tower before Tower of Genesis and Purgatoria was added to Ito, that's gonna take you like 10 minutes to like 5, somewhere between that range, depends on how good you are. And I'm not good, if you couldn't tell. Well, actually I am, it's just, I'm not good, like, I'm not able to be the soul crossing, unfortunately. There's a lot of other things I could say, such as, the requirements for each, type of thing that I know about, which is the, citadels. There's also, some inside jokes in this obby community specifically, such as 28.5 million, which references the amount that the former owner Duke stole from the game's funds. But overall, I would say that this is one of the best ways you can get into obbying, because unlike difficulty chart, it's similar to difficulty chart obbies because, well, it invented the difficulty chart with Tower of Difficulty chart. It really makes it the unified system. I mean, it just makes it easy, I would say that those other kinds of towels, such as not known as the not even a towel thing, which is like it's a joke towel that was added to Wing 1, but it's sparked multiple fan games that make normal towels into not even a towel, such that and that's called the neat games. Because not even a towel's abbreviation is neat, and also that's where that's where this comes from. As you can see, it says the difficulty when I hover over it because the creators of the game coded it like that. That's not normal, I don't think, at least, because I haven't played Ito in a very long time. But I will say that that this game is not for the weak, especially weight game. It will make you wonder. It made me wonder this at least. Why am I even doing this? That's probably it for the section. Oh wait, actually, never mind. I forgot the requirements to be a citadel slash steeple for like the one person who wanted to know that. Citadels can wins anywhere between like 24 to 14, I believe. And steeples are anywhere between 4 to 6 falls, so there's definitely a difference between them. For example, there's certain scenarios where having an 11 fall isn't too uncommon. Those are called final stretches because they're not counted as a fall, but they all like added on to the height of 1,000 studs. Yeah. That's really all I have to say for this section. I'll see you guys in section 5. Okay, for our last, probably last, I don't know. Or, and, fifth tier is the tiered obbies. Tiered obbies are obbies that are tiered based of how difficult they are. For this, I chose the tier 6 obby known as Golden Horizon. I chose this one because, like, I'm not that good. I'm only like tier 6. Guys, I know I'm bad. I'm not good. I'm sorry, man. Like I'm making a video on obbies when I can't even complete most of the obbies. But these obbies tend to be solo but more difficult than towers, which is why I prefer towers personally. There's always gonna be a long obby like everywhere at the end of time. Is that? Oh no, is it like Stairway to Heaven? Oh no, those are both like. Oh no, I think everyone at the end of the time is like a minute long. No, it's a few hours, I think. Anyways, not much can be said other than most of these are kept in separate experiences, so really you have to join different ones and not really fun because well like you know just kind of have to join experiences, and half the time these aren't age rated, so you have to be on a 16 plus account to really play. So it really walks most people out of actually being able to play. unfortunately. But honestly, I still enjoy the ones that's Cradle's all age verified or whatever because they made sure that their obbies can be played. Like Golden Horizons, it's always been like when you source up tier 6, then it's gonna be the first one that shows up almost every single time. Um, I remember this was actually the first tier obby I ever tried to beat. I failed obviously, and I still haven't beaten it, but that's just fun. Not much else to say about obbies other than tier obbies go a really far away. Such as obbies like Stairway to Heaven and Everywhere at the End of Time are really difficult obbies. Roughly tier 20 to tier 22. Which I think the hardest obby I've ever beaten is tier 20. So they'll label it as impossible now, I think. I don't know, man. Been a while since I checked. But yeah, I would honestly recommend playing these. There's not much to say really actually if you think about it. These are the sort of obbies that somebody made and they had to build an entire place around them. Because if they didn't, then there wasn't a place for tier obbies is what I'm trying to say, you know. Unlike Eternal Towers of Hell, which has over like 400 of the tower obbies in it. There's only like one old place I could find that had multiple, and even then, I couldn't find it anymore. I don't know what it's called, but if you can find it, leave it in the comments. I know that these tier videos do pretty well because I remember seeing one of my favorite content creators, which is a whole content creator that actually I think he I think that he was prior to my comment I put on his channel once, so I comment on his videos now. Just for fun. His name it's Mr. Mawaz. He makes great horror stuff. He's really underrated. Less than 100k subs. Hey, maybe when you're done with this and you like some scary Trouble Henderson stuff, maybe you could check it out. But he uploaded a tier video, and I remember noticing that it got so many views compared to everything else he did. So hopefully this works, you know. Maybe you're still engaged, maybe you're not. Still, not really much else I can say other than have a nice day, you know. Have a nice day, have a nice life, you know. Maybe subscribe if you feel like I've been mildly entertaining this entire time. Maybe you just put this on so like you'd have someone to watch while you're eating. Maybe put it on to like fall asleep too. But either way, you put it on, and I'm grateful because I have like 60 subscribers. I don't upload too regularly. I've been wanting animation. I'm making a 2D animation about a game I play with this company. That should be up soon. I've never gotten this far before. Yeah, working on stuff, but I just wanted to get something out, you know. This may be considered a swap in the eyes of YouTube, and I won't get views on it because of something. But hey, it is what it is. I know this outro has been pretty long. Just me playing this hobby. If you want more content like this, just leave it in the comments. I'll do what you say because I'm desperate. I'm desperate for views. I'll do what you say. I don't know how to edit too well, so if the editing and the video quality has been bad, this Have mercy on me. I'm a one-man team. I'm a one-man team. Okay. But yeah. Also I should be in some Minecraft videos up soon. I don't know when. I think sometime around um um like Friday maybe. I don't know. I'm working on some Minecraft content. It's taking a bit. It's not like it's like an SMP thing. You'd enjoy it, hopefully. Hopefully, it will have some good quality. Yeah. But in other news, just look out for my stuff. Hopefully, I get views. Hopefully, I'll start to upload again. I know I haven't, but this actually has been a while. You know, like, cause I don't know how to end um videos. Well, it feels like I'm cutting it off too abruptly. So I feel like easing into this is really the right thing to do. So yeah, please like, subscribe, do whatever else you want, and that'll be it for today's video.